Hello, today we're going to do a little power flow. So, clean my mat off here. We're going to start in a tabletop position. So I want you to just go ahead and get on all fours. Hands, we're going to spread the fingertips out, placing the fingertips on the mat. We're going to make sure our shoulders are just above our wrists, and then push those hips back and make sure those hips are just above the knees. And lengthening through that neck, lengthening through the spine, lifting up out of the shoulders, pulling the belly tight in, and just holding this table position. Nice big inhale. And another exhale. One more inhale, lengthening the neck and the spine. And on that next inhale, we're going to go ahead and lift the hips, lower the chest to the mat, inhale deep. And on the exhale, we're going to round that back, lower the head, shift the hips under into that cat-cow. Inhale again, raising the hips, lifting the chest, lifting the head. And exhale, lowering the head, raising the hips. And do this a few more times in this cat-cow position. Working the spine, strengthening the spine. Inhale and exhale, lowering the hips, raising the spine. One more. Big inhale here. Lifting the head, exhale, head comes down. Hips lower, back round. Come back into that table, neutral position. One big inhale. We're going to bring those feet a little bit together, widen the knees. And on our exhale, we're going to go ahead and shift those hips back and come into our child's pose. So the head comes down, forehead comes down to the mat, arms reaching out in front of you. Big inhale here. And another exhale. One more inhale. And another exhale. Big deep inhale. And on that exhale, we're going to come back up to that table position. Getting ready for our down dog. So we're going to tuck those toes under. As we push up into our down dog, we're going to make sure the knees are slightly bent, rolling the shoulders back away from the ears. Big inhale. And on the exhale, we push up into our down dog. Hips shoot towards the back of the room. Knees are soft. Neck comes down, in line with the spine, lengthening and rolling those shoulders away. And we're just going to stay here for a minute and breathe. Big inhale, big exhale. One more big inhale. And on this exhale, we're going to rotate the hips forward, coming into that plank position. And then we're going to lower that upper body down to the mat. Elbows stay in, chaturanga on the way down. Lifting the head and the chest up, into up dog. You can do up dog or cobra here. So when we're in this position, we're rolling our shoulders back, lifting our chest. Cobra position, our legs stay, thighs stay down on the mat. And with up dog, you can go ahead and lift those thighs up, raising and reaching with the chest, lengthening through the neck, and we hold and breathe. One more big inhale. If your legs are on the mat, stay here. And on that exhale, we're going to push back into child's pose. So we're going to start moving now. So stay here, one big deep inhale. And then on the exhale, we're going to roll forward, lowering the chest. Inhale, lifting up into that cobra position once again. Raising and stretching through the lower back, raising the head, lengthening the neck. You want to make sure here the focus is on that lower back. Take the weight out of the hands and the arms. Keep it in the lower back, lengthening that neck, keeping it in line with the spine as much as you can. Big deep inhale. And on the exhale, we're going to roll back one more time into that child's pose. Forehead comes down to the mat. Arms reach out in front of you. And hold and breathe. Big inhale. On that exhale, we're going to roll forward one more time. This time we're going to stay down on the mat, working on the back side of the body. Arms come back, palms facing up. We take a big deep inhale. And we lift the upper body, lift the legs, find the locust pose, and just holding and breathing. And lengthening through the neck. Big inhale, and on that exhale we lower. Inhale, we raise. Raising the head, raising the arms, raising the legs off the mat, reaching energy through the fingertips. And exhale, we lower one more time. Inhale, raising that body up again off the mat. Shooting that energy through the fingertips. And exhale, we lower. Good. This time I want you to go ahead, if you can, and grab those feet, go into bow pose. And on that inhale, we're lifting the chest and the legs up off the mat, just as high as you're comfortable. Taking the tension out of the neck, spreading the shoulders away from the ears, and lengthening through the neck. And go ahead and lower on that exhale. And on the inhale, we raise again. Raising the body off the mat. And exhale, we lower. Let's do that one more time. We'll hold that pose a little bit longer this last time. Inhale, raising up off the mat. Lengthening through the neck. We're going to hold here for a couple breaths. That work in the thighs, and lowering back down to the mat. Place those hands so the thumbs are right underneath the armpits, spreading the fingers, flipping the toes underneath, and we're going to push up one more time into that down dog position. So softening the knees, pushing the hips towards the back of the room, lowering the head, lengthening the neck. So everything's in line with the spine. Couple inhale exhales here. And we're going to go back into some of those core strengthening movements. So on this next exhale, we're going to come into plank, straight arm plank. If this is a challenge for you, you can put your knees on the mat. If not, I want wrists under shoulders, rears lowered, lengthening the spine, lengthening the neck. We're just going to hold that plank pose for a couple breaths. Good. Working the core today. And we're going to go ahead and take it to that right side. So right arm comes down, left arm comes up in that T position. You can stack your feet if you're comfortable, or you can leave them spread apart. And we're just going to hold for a couple breaths. If you need to lower that knee to the mat, you can. If you can hold or stack the feet. One more breath. Big inhale, and then on that exhale, we're going to twist and stack the hands so the left hand replaces the right hand. And the body twists and the right arm comes up. And again, if you need to lower the one knee, you can. You can keep the feet spread, or you can stack the feet. And hold here for a couple breaths. Big deep inhale. Exhale, we twist and stack. A little bit of power strength movement here. Holding the hand up. breaths. And we exhale, twist. Back to that left side. Couple breaths here. And on that last exhale, we're going to come back to center. That center plank. We're going to drop the knees down. Big inhale and exhale. We're going to push back into child's pose, resting position. Forehead comes down to the mat. Arms are lengthening out in front of you. And we're going to stay here for a couple breaths. Again in child's pose. If you're comfortable with the knees together, if you're needing more of that kind of stretch, you can keep the knees together. You can keep the feet together and open up the knees. Come down a little bit more on the mat. Forehead comes down. And we're stretching. Let's go ahead and take it over to that left side. Stretching through that right side of the body. Coming up onto the fingertips if you want a little more stretch. A couple of breaths here. We'll come back to the center of the mat. And then we take it over to that other side. Stretching through that left side of the body. One more breath. And we slowly come back to center. Big deep inhale. And on that exhale, we're going to come forward onto our forearms. Prepare ourselves for dolphin pose. So we're on our forearms, about shoulder width apart. Palms are on the mat. We're tucking those toes under, and before I push up into my dolphin, I'm going to go ahead and shift the weight back like I would in child's pose, so that there's more of a diagonal here in my upper arm. I'm not going to start up here in the 90 degree. I'm going to come back just a little bit. So there's more of a diagonal here. And then my rear and my feet, I'm going to push up just like I do in the down dog position. So my palms and my forearms are on the mat. Big deep inhale. Pushing the hips back just a little bit like we're going into child's pose. And then we go ahead and press up into that dolphin pose if you can. If you're more comfortable staying in child's pose, that's an option. If you can push up into that dolphin pose, pushing the weight and the hips back towards the back of the room, soft with the knees. You're really going to work those shoulders, keeping that tension out of the neck, lowering the arm. And we're just going to take some breaths here. Lowering the head just a little bit. Feeling that work in the shoulders. Another option here, once you're feeling a little bit stronger, something I like to do to work the triceps and the underneath of the arms that get a little jiggly sometimes. It's what we can do, what we call dolphin push-ups. So we're right here in our dolphin pose. If you're comfortable staying here, stay here and breathe. And we just kind of move forward and dip towards the mat and push back up, shifting back into dolphin. If you're with me on the push-ups, we're shifting the weight just a little bit forward, lowering the head to the mat, dip, and pushing back into the dolphin pose. One more dolphin push-up, leaning the head forward, dropping down to the mat, and pushing back one more time into dolphin pose. Good. Couple inhale, exhales here, taking that tension out of the neck, holding that pose a little bit longer, working those shoulders and arms. Exhale, we lower the knees. Opening the knees or keeping them closed, feet come together, shifting that weight back once again into our resting child's pose, lowering the forehead to the mat, stretching the arms out in front of you, releasing the tension in the neck, rolling the shoulders away, stay there and breathe. Good. And this exhale, we're going to roll forward and we're going to come into the elbow plank position. So hands and palms and forearms are on the mat. just like with dolphin pose. Stretch the legs out, tucking the toes under, and come up in that plank position just like we did with the straight arm plank. But this time we're on our elbows. If you need to drop the knees, take a little break, you can. If you're with me and can stay in this elbow plank, we're going to take some breaths here. Lengthening that neck, taking the tension out of the neck, keeping the spine straight, and just holding that plank pose. Something I'll do here as I get stronger is I'll do my little side dips. I'll mix those in there. Really works the sides of the abdomen. Help shape that core. If you're more comfortable staying centered, you can just stay center. One more big deep inhale. And on that exhale, we lower the knees back down to the mat. Shifting the hips back into child's pose, lowering the forehead down to the mat, stretching the arms, lengthening them out in front of us. Big deep inhale, exhale here. One more big deep inhale. And the last little sequence we're going to do is going to be a shift between that dolphin pose and the plank. So tucking the toes under, shifting the weight back. Big inhale. And we're going to push up again into that dolphin pose. Softening the knees. Big deep inhale. And on the exhale, we're going to roll those hips forward and lower them into forearm plank. Inhale, exhale here. One more inhale. Exhale, we push up into that dolphin. Soft knees bent. Inhale, exhale here. Big inhale, and on that exhale, we roll forward back into that elbow plank. Lowering the hips into plank, couple of breaths. And one more big inhale. Exhale, shifting the hips back into that dolphin pose, soft knees, lengthening the neck. Head comes down. Big inhale. Exhale, last time we roll those hips back forward into the elbow plank, holding here. And let's hold here for a couple more breaths. Pulling the belly in. Big inhale, exhale. Lower those knees to the mat. Shifting the weight back again into child's pose, lowering the forehead onto the mat and lengthening the arms out in front of you. Big deep inhale, exhale here. Inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. And as we exhale, we're going to push back up into that tabletop position that we started out with. We're on all fours, wrists are in line with the shoulders, knees are in line with the hips. And we're just going to take that left arm, stretch it out to the side, big deep inhale, stretching that left arm out to the side. And on the exhale, we're going to thread the needle so the arm comes through, shoulder comes down to the mat, head turns facing that hand, and the other hand comes up overhead, and we're just stretching out those shoulders from the work we just did. Hold and breathe. Big deep inhale. Exhale, we'll come back into that tabletop. And the last move we'll do here, we'll take the other side. The right arm comes straight out to the side. Big deep inhale. Exhale, that arm crosses underneath the body, stretching out across the floor. Left hand comes over top. And the head turns facing the palm. And we stay here. Get those shoulders stretched for a couple of breaths. Threading the needle. One more inhale. Exhale back to center, back into that final child's pose, forehead coming down to the mat, arms stretching out in front of you. If you can come up onto those fingertips and get a little bit deeper into the shoulders, make sure that neck isn't tight, lengthening through that neck, forehead down, couple big deep breaths here. And this is a sequence that you can do a few sets of. If it's something where you're trying to work your core, maybe shape your abs, do a couple of sets of this particular sequence. Really get that work in. Big deep inhale. And we slowly roll the body up through the spine. Rolling the shoulders back away from the ears. Lifting the head. Palms come to thighs. One more big inhale. And exhale, our hands come to prayer. When we finish our sequence with Namaste.